This Rugged Ridge XHD Gen 2 swing and lock tire carrier is for those of you that have a 2007 and up JK with an XHD rear bumper installed on your Jeep, either the steel or the aluminum version, that are looking to add a tire carrier onto that bumper. This is a tire carrier that is going to be a pretty easy bolt-on installation. However, there are going to be quite a few different pieces here. I'm still going to give it a 1 out of 3 wrenches. It may take you a little bit over an hour, call it closer to 2, to get this whole thing installed and buttoned up, but it is going to be well worth it if you're looking for a tire carrier to go along with that bumper. Now, when you have a large spare tire and you mount it in the factory spare tire location, you have a couple of different issues that can come up. One, you can start to wear on those factory tailgate hinges, which can cause the hinges to sag. Then you'll have to lift up a little bit on the tailgate every time you open and close the door. That can be very annoying. The actual spot welds themselves on the tailgate can separate and start to break, which can cause rattling and eventually cause the tailgate to tear apart even further. And finally, the actual spare tire mount that bolts onto the tailgate, that's only rated for a certain number of pounds as well. So when you get a much larger, heavier spare tire on there, that can't handle the extra weight, and that can cause that metal to start fatiguing and eventually break as well. So going with a tire carrier, something like this, whether it be a bumper mounted one like this one is here, or a tub mounted tire carrier, is going to solve those problems and make it much safer, rattle free, and is just generally a better way of carrying an oversized spare tire. So again, this is specifically for those of you that have that XHD rear bumper. You're gonna have the spindle that mounts on there, everything else that you need here. And one of the benefits to this tire carrier in particular is the fact that it does not have an additional latch. So this mechanism here, the arm mechanism, attaches to the tailgate with a link so that when you open the tailgate, the tire swings out as well. So it's one hand, one motion to open the tailgate and also the tire carrier. In a lot of other situations, you have to first open up the tire carrier, then open up the tailgate, do both those steps in reverse. So if you're somebody who uses that cargo space of your Jeep a lot, you're constantly in and out of that tailgate, going with something like this that is one hand, one motion is a little bit easier and will definitely be more convenient. So this kit is going to be very complete, including everything that you need in order to get it mounted up on that XHD rear bumper. Over here, you're going to have the spindle mechanism itself. This section here is going to get mounted onto the tailgate. Of course, you have the swing arm. This connects onto the tailgate plate, like we said before, with a link, so that is what allows you to, just with one motion, open both the tailgate and the tire carrier. Over here, you have the actual tire mount mechanism, and finally, your third brake light mechanism. Now, these two are the ones that I want to talk a little bit more about. Now, this mechanism here is designed to slide in and out, and why that's important is because when you have a tire, a wider than factory tire on a wheel that has a different back spacing than factory, you still want to ensure that that tire and the wheel package stay very close to the tailgate. You want to make sure that they're tight up against each other. If they're sitting out a little bit, that tire is going to torque around when you're hitting bumps, especially at highway speed. That can cause some metal fatigue and eventually some issues. So you do want to make sure everything stays nice and tight. And the fact that this is adjustable in and out allows you to get it nice and tight up against the tailgate. Now, what this doesn't allow for is up-down adjustment. This is designed to allow you to carry up to a 37-inch tire. However, if you're carrying a smaller 33, 35-inch tire, normally I would recommend mounting that tire as low as possible to still clear the bumper. That's going to allow you to really see the best out of that back window. With this here, you don't have that up-down adjustability. The tire sits where it sits. Is it the end of the world? No, but it is something that I wanted to note. Over here, you do have some up-down adjustability, and that's on that third brake light bracket. That's going to allow you to make sure that the third brake light is visible above your tire, whether you're mounting a 33 or a 37. This is going to give you some up-down adjustability, and this does work with that factory third brake light, which is a nice feature. It doesn't require you to purchase an additional brake light. Another brake light doesn't have to be included in the kit, which can drive the price up. You don't have to do any wiring. You can simply bolt your factory third brake light right into that bracket and have everything set up exactly how you need it. So like I said before, I'm going to stick with a 1 out of 3 wrenches for this installation because everything is bolt-on, but as you can see, there are going to be quite a few pieces involved here, so I am going to say it'll probably take you around 2 hours or so to get this installed, depending on the tools that you have at your disposal. You're definitely going to have a socket set in order to get this installed, and you can do it with that, but if you have some power tools, if you have some pneumatic tools, it'll definitely speed the process along. Now, the first step in the installation is going to be removing removing that factory spare tire mount from your tailgate. And in doing that, you're also going to want to remove your third brake light, unplug it, but also remove it from that spare tire mount, and you're going to be able to put that right here into your new mount. After that, you'll mount the spindle mechanism onto the bumper. Once that's installed, you can go ahead and install your swing arm. You will have installed this plate on the tailgate in place of your factory spare tire carrier. And finally, once everything is bolted up, you'll bolt the tire mount itself and bolt your tire on. Once you have the tire in place, you can make some adjustments in and out, again, making sure that that tire sits nice and tight up against the tailgate. Finally, bolt your third brake light bracket back on, making any height adjustments necessary so that you can see that third brake light over top of your tire. This tire carrier is a little over $500, and that's not counting the price of that XHD bumper that you already installed, especially if you're installing that aluminum version. That's going to be a little bit pricier. So this package here is going to be expensive. Between the bumper and the tire carrier, you're going to have a good bit of money wrapped up. Now, this is a very nice package. I think it has a lot of features. I think it's going to be nice and tight and very rattle-free. It does have some adjustability built right into it. So I do think overall, this is a very nice package, but you are going to have a high budget for it. If you're just looking for a way to get that spare tire off of the spare tire mount because you do have something big and heavy, there are going to be some less expensive options out there. There are going to be some bumper and tire carrier options that come in right around the same price as just this tire carrier, let alone the bumper. So the point of illustrating is that this is an expensive setup. I do think it's worth it. I think it's well built and it's nicely put together. If you have the budget and you like this setup, like I said, great option. If you don't have the budget, you want something a little simpler, there are some other options that will save you a few dollars. So if you have a Rugged Ridge XHD rear bumper on your JK, you're looking to add a tire carrier, this is going to be the go-to. This is going to be an excellent option for you as long as you have the budget for it, and you can find it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.